All right, Nick, let's go down to Death Valley and talk some Clemson Tigers football. Spring ball is now over for the Tigers, but a new report is out, Nick. Some really, really big news for Clemson is in the air. I think the fans are going to love this one.
Yeah, Miles, I think it's a great sign that Clemson will not miss a step. They're rebuilding, or frankly, reloading is a better way to say it, behind a new starting quarterback, new offensive coordinator. But before we take a step looking forward to the future, let's pause for a second and look back at the Clemson Tiger teams of yesteryear. And that leads me into the question I have for Clemson fans to answer in the comment section below. Give us your favorite Clemson Tigers running back of all time. There's been a lot of great running backs. Of course, CJ Spiller comes to mind. ETN obviously was a great one with a lot of the recent glory years, but there's been a lot of other names. Really curious who you guys pick. Let us know the greatest Clemson Tiger running back in your mind in the comment section below. All right, Miles, what you got? What's going on in Clemson?
Yeah, Nick, I like the other side of that Superman Batman combo. I like the James Davis to the CJ Spiller. That was a really fun time down at Clemson. But, Nick, nonetheless, let's get into the good news for the Tigers. Per USA Today, one of the bigger articles, news programs, as far as doing preseason polls and things like that, they've come out with a report and talked about who is the favorite or the dark horse to win each conference. Nonetheless, we're talking about the ACC right now. I'll get into the article. It says Clemson is the safest pick to top the ACC despite Florida State's huge gains heading into coach Mike Norvell's fourth season. Maybe the biggest reason for optimism is the projected rebirth of the Tigers' offense under new coordinator Garrett Riley, who previously held the same position at TCU. While personnel issues linger at wide receiver, this new offense will get the most out of a promising new young quarterback in Cade Klubnik, Nick. So I think the two things in this article are actually the two biggest upgrades to the Clemson offense. You got the new offense under Garrett Riley is going to be very, very exciting to see. And then you get a better quarterback this year. We saw what he could do at the end of last year, but Cade Klubnik looks to be much, much better than DJ. I think this is going to be a really big upgrade here. What are your thoughts so far on Clemson, and do you think that it is a good sign that the Tigers are picked to win the ACC?
Well, yeah, it's obviously a good sign that they're picked to win the ACC, but just the vibe and the energy around the Clemson program right now really seems special. And I compare it with one of their cheap rivals atop the college football landscape, and that's Alabama, right? Alabama's in a kind of similar boat to Clemson. New starting quarterback, new offensive coordinator, high expectations, but all the vibe and energy the past few weeks, and frankly, throughout all the spring in Alabama, hasn't been really high. There's been a lot of concerns, a lot of red flags. That's the exact opposite of Clemson. Look, it hasn't always been perfect. The offenses look sloppy at times. It will take time to get there under Garrett Riley, but the overall vibe and energy and direction seems to be positive. And that's a credit, of course, to Sweeney. And of course, Riley's done a fantastic job in terms of implementing his offense. And look, I think this Klubnik kid, I think he's going to be special. I think we're looking at a guy we're going to be hearing his name on draft night in the first round in a few years' time. I think he's got all the tools. He's smart. He's savvy. I'm just blown away how these 18, 19-year-old kids can come into these college programs and basically have the maturity to handle it the right way from day one. And this is a guy who took over the starting job, obviously, at the end of last season, has taken on that leadership mantle all spring and has carried it through spring ball as we head into summer. And just the vibe and the energy at Clemson right now, it's just something special. And when you look at their competition in the ACC, to be totally frank, it just isn't that good. I know Florida State, they're a lot more stable. They're a lot more consistent in terms of their returning starting quarterback. They did really good in the recruiting game, like the article reported. I think just Clemson's better. I think they got the better coaching staff. I think they got the better players. And outside of, I don't see any competition in the ACC. I mean, what do you look at? You look at Syracuse. Syracuse is giving them fits, but I'm not too worried. NC State, Miami, Georgia Tech, North Carolina is a new, maybe North Carolina, but North Carolina can't play defense. So there's just not enough opponents on the schedule that really concern me in the ACC. Look, obviously Notre Dame will be a battle. We'll see how that shakes up. And South Carolina is obviously a rivalry game. Those won't factor into the ACC in terms of ACC title game appearances. So I don't see any team that's anywhere close to as talented as Clemson. The vibe and the energy around Klubnik and Riley kind of makes me feel better about the changes at those two areas. So again, everything looks really good for Clemson right now. And I agree 100%. They should be the favorite and the overwhelming favorite to win the ACC.
Yeah, Nick. And I think the thing in North Carolina maybe is the most competition. Miami was picked.
They
as
can't
dark
play
horse.
defense, right? Like they give up 88 points a game. Like it's
Yeah, they're just not that great. And the bigger thing is Phil Longo is gone now. Can Drake May survive in that offense without Longo there? He was such a crucial piece of that system down there. So I don't know how that's going to play out as well. but I think you hit everything. Who's going to stop Clemson? I think they have a pretty good road laid out from them straight to the college football playoff. I think they can run over a lot of these teams. Probably, unfortunately for Clemson, one of the tougher games of the year is against a game like South Carolina. But like we said, that's not ACC championship. That's talking about, potentially if they can win all their other games, trying to hold on to a game like that to go undefeated and make your college football playoff push. But I think Clemson has the ACC championship in the bag. So I think USA Today was 100% right in their article. Clemson is by far the overwhelming favorite to win this ACC championship.